All right. Hi, everyone. Goodness gracious. Thank you so much for coming to hang out. I'm pretty excited about this. Obviously, getting together with a good friend and someone that I haven't had a chance to chat with before, or at least in a while. That's without a doubt. We have gotten together previously, but my goodness, it's been maybe a year since the last time we got to chat. And I've got chat and you all here with us. So look, if we ever do any sweet AMA or any questions, I think it would be really, really cool for us to banter. But Chuck, my goodness, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited about this year. It seems like so many things are happening. And I'm very optimistic. But yeah, we haven't talked in a long time. And not just that, like we do chat back and forth every once in a while in text form, but we don't do this very often. So we have a lot to catch up on. So it's kind of going to be like you guys are peering into a conversation between friends, which and you guys are friends too, so you can be part of it. Chat in. We'll do some AMA. I don't think we have anything official to talk about. We're just going to talk about anything and everything that comes to mind.
Yeah, I almost feel bad. I don't know. I wanted to help level set and set expectations for you all, but there is no plan. Chuck and I were chatting over Slack, hey, in the DMs, and we're saying we should get together. We should hang out and catch up. And then we thought, we'll just live stream it. But if you're all right with that format, if you're totally cool with the casual, candid, hey, fellas, just getting together, friends catching up, that is the game plan if there is one. But otherwise, no strict script or demos or show and tell party tricks. But with that said, what have you been up to, man? I know I see content, I see videos still coming out all and about, but how was your holiday? How's the new year? What's your world look like?
So, it's funny. You've seen videos come out, but they're mostly shorts. I have not posted a video this year yet, and it's killing me. We do have videos in the pipeline. We're working on them. I think I've recorded like 3 or 4. Actually, no, 6 or so videos. We're in the process right now. When you got a team, things can move fast, but sometimes they move very slow. You know how that is, John. But yeah, holidays were great family time. But this year, I always kind of come in. I don't know if you're a big goal setting guy. I am. And when I come into a new year, I do a massive period of reflection because I very recently, actually, it's your fault. I started using Obsidian.
Yes. I literally have the notes for like, what the heck do I talk with Chuck about opening Obsidian on the side monitor?
I'd never heard of this, but when you're at Mr. Beast together, you had it open and you're taking like diligent notes. And I'm like, what's this guy doing? And I didn't think about it for a long time. And then I just stumbled upon it again. And then I started using it. And it's been my new obsession for like a year and a half. So now I've got this insane workflow. I got to make a video about it where I meticulously document my entire life. Anyways, long story short, I have a pretty rigorous review process where I go over my year and go, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? John, I didn't complete any of my goals from last year. It's so stupid. I hate it. I set all these super ambitious goals. I didn't do one of them. And I just got, I started this way and people just came in and knocked me off my path. So this year I sat down and just kind of, reorganized myself, level setted myself. And I'm a big believer in like setting a word of the year, the word that will kind of set the tone for what you're trying to be this year. And I've got 2 this year. Do you do that same thing?
Build out like, an adjective, so to speak, or like, hey, the philosophy, your mental state, how you just want to exist for the year. Is that right?
Yeah, in a way. So I'll give you mine and maybe that'll help you with that. So my 2 words I have are steadfast, which actually I have tattooed on my neck.
Ooh.
And temperate. So steadfast meaning I want to be a person that's always going to do what they say, that can be relied upon, that is consistent and disciplined, which I traditionally do struggle with. And then temperate, just being even set. Whatever comes at me, I don't react based on emotion. I am reacting unless emotion calls for it, unless I get really excited about something, the good kind of reactions, but I don't want to be hit to and fro by things. I want to be level with people, which I don't struggle with necessarily, but I want to be really good at that now. So do you do that kind of thing?
I haven't done a good job of doing it. I'll admit I don't think I have in the past, at least not formally, at least not officially, like written it down. Someone challenged me today when we were trying to scheme up, what will be those 2025 goals or the new year? They had asked me like, look, what is ideal John? Like, what do you want? And I think that aligns and it gets closer to your, hey, pick a couple words that you just want to embody. But I have not filled out that Obsidian page yet.
And to be fair, mine is still very like incomplete because I'm like, okay, I know what I want to do. I know how I feel. I haven't put it into action yet. And I'm a big believer in like not necessarily setting goals, but setting systems that support a goal.
Yeah.
Because goals, they're nothing. Like you say, I want to be a millionaire, but if you have nothing in place to make that happen, no system in place, no daily, because it's the daily disciplines, your daily habits that form who you're going to be over time. And if you don't have a system in place to change that, you're never going to do anything like that. So every goal I have has a system, and that takes a lot of time, a lot of thought. Like there's only so much time in the day. In fact, just today, I was kind of mourning the fact that I'm giving up. And I don't think you know this about me. I've been learning Japanese.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, obsessing over it. Like I love it. I've learned it. Like I've been spending time with it every day for like maybe 300 days. And this happens like I went to Japan last year, became a little obsessed, and Japanese is freaking hard. Like it's like a whole other language, right? No, it's ridiculous. And I've been learning kanji and memorizing this and that, but it takes like 1 to 2 hours a day of my time to do it well. And I just sat down today. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I have the time. Like I have other things in my life. I've got 6 children. I've got a business and another business I'm trying to build with a friend. I don't have it in me right now. I have to make sure my time is honored and being given to the best things in my life, the best things. Sure, learning Japanese is a good thing and it'd be fun to learn another language, but it's not the best thing. Yeah. So I know you probably encounter the same thing. You're pulled in like 15 million different directions, but you have to choose the best stuff.
Yeah. So this is fun. You're giving me a lot to run with here. I do want to pull on the systems thread as you were alluding to, because I think that's where we get super tactical and like, oh, how do you actually, what is the plan, really the path to accomplish a goal? I'd love if you have any other examples of like, or stuff that you've really like legitimately implemented. I'd love to listen in, because I think a lot about optimizations and how do we improve the business and the function and the run and the workflow. Because just as you were alluding to, gosh darn it, we're on fire and we're sub-zero on time. Like it comes at a premium. It's a luxury, and it's either that or sleep, getting the work done or going to bed. But we got to get the work done, because that is the lever that we can pull that means the most, and it is the best use of the time. So without a doubt, all agreed. But can I ask, do you have any systems that you can kind of pull out of the air and say, look, yeah, we have put this to life and it's working well?
Yeah, so a lot of my systems are personal. So business-wise, we're working, and when I say personal, I don't mean like I'm not going to tell you. No, I'll tell you. It's just about me. Business-wise, we're still working on that. But like personally, for example, I like to. What's one of the good ones I can tell you? I think the biggest thing I do is making sure I review each day, because I try to make every day count. Live every day like it's your last. I know it's like a cheesy thing, but it's a real way to approach a day. Like you're not guaranteed tomorrow. Today might be the only day you have. Make every moment count. Like stop putting stuff off to tomorrow. You don't know if you have that. Yeah. Sure, plan for tomorrow, but work your ass off like today's all you got. So I have a set of questions. So I've got a template in Obsidian. I'm sure you're familiar with Templater.
Yeah.
I'll use Templater for my daily note, and I'll have a series of questions I ask myself in the morning. So I'm like, what do you expect from today? What are your top 3 things you want to do? What are you thankful for? Just those kind of like just getting the day ready. And then at the end of the day, I have questions like, hey, did you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish? Are you proud of today? And that for me is my biggest question I ask myself, because you can do a lot of stuff that is really cool and meaningful and awesome, but are you proud of you? Do you feel like you gave it your all? That's a question I try to ask myself every day. And that kind of system puts in place, like, because that is one of my larger goals this year, just being proud of me. I want to make me proud of me. I don't really care about anyone else. I do. Everyone does. Let's be honest. But ultimately, I want to be proud of me. So that's one system. And another system I had in place is I wanted to become more, this is more personal, like we're getting real here. I wanted to become
therapy session for the two of us.
I don't have a therapist. John, you're my therapist.
Here we go.
But like, I wanted to be more encouraging to my wife. I wanted to build her up more. So I put a system in place. Like every day I would have, encourage my wife 2 times. Just do it 2 times for whatever it is. Be genuine. Find something you could encourage her on. And I would just have like 2 little check boxes in my template. Do that every single stinking day. And then at the end of my week, I have a week note where it would kind of sum up my week. And I have a data view. Do you use data view in Obsidian?
I am learning about it. I don't think I've got it in place yet.
Oh, you're not nerdy enough in Obsidian yet.
Yeah, I need to be. I really do.
But yeah, so I'll have like a nice view of like how my week went. So I'll put in systems like that to make sure like I'm not leaving things to chance. I'm going to get this stuff done. And I've done various things like that for learning hacking, for being more consistent on YouTube, which I'm still working on. But the point is like, you're never going to get it right the first time. You're never going to, and so you have to make sure you're consistently reviewing. So like I designed what I thought was the perfect week in my life. I'm like, this is my week. I'm going to do this 52 times this year and it's going to be amazing. I'm going to accomplish all my goals. Week 1 went by and I'm like, I didn't do anything. Like this sucked. Let me go back and re-engineer this. Let's review what didn't work and try some new stuff. So I think the biggest thing I can tell people is like, as you're setting goals, it's okay if the process you put in place sucks. Just go back and change it. Make it better, just change it. Yeah, just change it. Are you as meticulous and crazy as I am or more loose?
I go back and forth on this, and it's maybe a struggle point because I obviously see 1,000% the value in like, can I get this structure? Can I get this sort of benchmark? Can I look at myself and do the introspection so that I can improve and optimize and make things better for whatever I'm working on and for stuff that needs to happen. But when I feel like I'm kind of up against the wall and there's a deadline coming up, it's a matter of like, I need to get the work done. I can't focus on anything else. I don't want to, I can't spend the time to go tinker or tweak or set the goal or make sure I'm aligned with what or whatever and spot check myself. And then I sometimes really find myself in a rat race of like, I am chasing one deadline and then the next to get out a piece of video for the algorithm, or, hey, make sure we're just cruising through a sponsor contract because it has to happen, or anything just for, I don't know, day in and day out life. I desperately want to get a little bit more, but I think I am loose in just the actuality of like, crap, it's got to get done.
So to be fair, you're in a stage in life, which you don't have any kids yet, I don't think.
This is true. No.
You don't have kids since I last talked to you, right? So you're in a different stage where you can be loose. Like you can stay up all night. I think one time I sent you a message and then I was like, you didn't respond. So I was like, hey, what's up? And this was like 5 a.m. When I get up, and you responded, and I'm like, he didn't get up at 5. He's still up at 5. Like there's no, and that's just the life you live.
Cheers to that. Energy drink as a bloodstream.
I know. And that's fine. For me, in my season, I lived your life for a little bit. For me, my season of life, I have to be very disciplined with when I have time and what I do with my time. And I have to slow myself down intentionally. So like our goal this year is only 1 video a week. And we're like really trying to slow ourselves down so that we do have time to really think about what we're doing. So I have time to really think about what I'm doing. So I stay creative so I'm not overwhelmed, because you do reach that burnout. And if you let the algorithm drive you, if you let your life drive you, it'll drive you crazy. It'll drive you until you're done. We've both experienced that multiple times over the years that we've known each other. It's not fun. And so yeah, that's essentially my goal. You know, I've got a teenager now, which is, teenage girls are scary. So it's it's a lot. It's a lot. So I have to slow down to be able to focus on all the stuff I have. You right now, I'm a little envious because you do get a chance to go, this is what I'm doing. This is all I'm doing. And I know you've got a girlfriend and stuff, but you have more freedom to focus. And that's an advantage right now for you.
Yeah, thank you. No, and I know, and I realize, and I hope to capture that, because I do want to be working hard, like trying to crank it out and get it done while I do have that time. Because just as you mentioned, look, I'm not married. I live with my girlfriend. I've got the domestic duties. I got to go home and make dinner and do the laundry and whatever, take the trash out, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not kids. And I know that is an absolute change of your world. So I'm hoping that I can be preparing for that by setting these foundations and these building blocks the right way all along. So you're right. And it's funny because as you were mentioning and talking it up, and we enjoy this because it is fun and that's why we do it. And we like it because we can kind of go, or you mentioned you were envious of me being able to go all in on getting this stuff done. I have found in that burnout balance, trying to hold plates and all, that I have to sometimes like remind myself that I do enjoy this, that I like it, that I have fun, that I love it. It's like going to the office when it's 11 at night, knowing that I'm going to be up until 3 or 4. I have to tell myself like, you're good, John. You work hard. You do this. This is your mission. This is your purpose. This is how you find value and fulfillment. But it's like, wait a second. I like this stuff. It's fun. I enjoy it. I just have to tell myself that. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever seen that? Or am I just maybe getting too deep into our therapy session?
No, both. We're getting deep. And yes, I feel all the time. And it sucks because we started doing this because we love it, right?
Yeah.
And it's obsessive, and that's part of why we like it. Is we love. I can spend easily 14 hours straight obsessing over one piece of technology and go, what did I just do with my time? I felt like I was playing, but many people call that work, and that's what makes it okay. So, but oftentimes we're stuck in a piece of content that just feels like work. Or like, oh, we have to make one more video, because I've got employees and I've got to make payroll. And sometimes the next video isn't a passion project. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to make this. I don't feel like recording today. I'm going to have to really drink a lot of coffee to make this recording work. That happens. More often than I like to admit. I've had to switch to decaf, and decaf sometimes doesn't help out. But sometimes that's what's it. But the more I approach those moments, the more I'm like, okay, I have to find a way to have fun with this. And if today's not my recording day, that's fine. I'm going to not record today. I'm going to find the narrative, the story that I'm trying to tell in this video and make it really fun for me. Because, sometimes technology by itself, just as it is, can be kind of boring, but you can always find a way to have fun with it. And that's what I try to do with my content. And so when you see me having fun in a video, it's not fake. It's like I had to spend time to find the fun, and I can't make a video any other way. I don't fake it on my channel, and it's a hard thing to do. But anyways, yeah, we're in the same boat, trying to remind ourselves that we enjoy this stuff. And just to get back to it, so actually, John, I'm curious, what are you planning this year? So by the way, how was your holidays? Did you have a good rest? Did you take a break? I know I struggle with taking breaks because I feel like I've got to keep doing stuff. Do you take breaks?
Yes. Well, this is the blessing of living with my girlfriend and us, working hard to make sure we can spend time together and do things away from work, because she works crazy hard just as much as I do. She's always busy running around. So when we can, we without a doubt will plan some travel, get out and see the world. We were over in Mexico for the week before Christmas. So some cool pictures from Cabo out on Twitter and X and all. But that was super relaxing. We were at the resort. We're like, oh, you just walk out the door of your room and you're at the restaurant, you're at the pool, you're at the hot tub. It's all right there. And we'd get the like sweet waterside, just by the ocean massage. And we'd take the tour around the city to learn and go to the cool places. A lot of really fun stuff. And then Christmas at home, took it easy. New Year's, just spending time with friends and family. So good stuff. But then January hit like a tidal wave.
I feel you. Yeah. So what do you have planned?
Well, it's a lot of fun kind of running in these different directions, because the YouTube content I still feel is like my main thread in this process, right? Hey, that's the one of the many multitasking, multi-processing things. I still want to be cranking out videos. That's still my fulfillment of like free educational content, like a demo, show and tell. I like doing the party tricks. I could banter on that when we do a little bit more soul searching later, if we'd like. But
yeah,
there are other spinning plates now of like, hey, trying to get a newsletter up and running, trying to get just hacking training, like courses. And I don't want to say academy because I know that word is, everyone's got it, but training material, courseware, exercises and activities to learn a lot more cybersecurity or anything else technical, and hosting capture the flag competitions and all the different varieties of content that I've got a chance to play with. Like we started early days with programming and code. Then we moved to capture the flag, vulnerabilities and exploits. Then we started to find real world threats and threat actors and adversaries and malware and all that. And then how they do what they do in the dark web or with cybercrime. But, sometimes a lot of that is inspired from game hacking, from video game hacking. Some, hey, folks that maybe found their way into questionable or at least raise your eyebrow occupation from getting started in some of that. But so game hacking is something that I wanted to play with and explore. And without a doubt, I know I've told you for years on end that I've wanted to do some of the scam bait work. So I'm very, very excited we got that at least first notch on the belt and first thing out as a proof of concept. But I'll be getting together with the whole crew again very soon. I think we have another IRL event that we are scheming up that I can't share details on because, scammers tend to know. But I am just ecstatic to be with them and engage and involve in the ways that we had done previously. Because when we all got together on site in person, it was incredible to see all that teamwork and just cool stuff to get done.
So I really admire you for doing that because that's something I would be terrified to do. Like I know like Scammer Payback and them, they make it, I mean, it doesn't look easy, but like they make it look like, oh, hey, I could probably do that. No, it's hard. It's really hard. So for you to like go out, because I know you went to the whole event last year. What was your experience trying to do it by yourself?
Extremely anxiety inducing and stressful.
I bet.
Do you consider, I think like we might have even asked this question the last time we got together, but whether you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert, but I am the person who is like afraid to talk to someone on the phone. Like I don't want to ask the waiter at the restaurant to get me a lemon for my water, or I'm sorry, this is not what I ordered. I just don't like that. So like the confrontation stuff, or even totally lying and deceiving a person on the other end of the phone while they're a scammer is still like certain jitter and lag and a couple hiccups in my processing power.
That's not how you were programmed. You're going against your programming. And I get that. I'm the same way. But for me, like I can become that way, become very, like aggressive and try to be, but I have to like almost adopt another persona. I have to go outside of myself, almost acting to be able to do that. So it was hard for you to kind of get into that role just for that reason. I'm still unfamiliar with exactly the scam baiting operation. How much of it is social engineering and how much of it is like hackery? Like what are you doing anything special there, or is it mainly just talking your way into it?
Yes. Answer E, all of the above. I think the first half, right, obviously is getting on the phone, making a call, and trying to set your bait and lure a trap to get maybe some more opportunity with that scammer. Because obviously the phone call alone is enough. Like that is scam baiting because you were wasting their time. You know that you're not going to fall for anything, and you're occupying their space and their work so that they can't be scamming a real innocent victim. That's someone that will fall for the scam. So the phone call is like, you're done. You've done it. You've accomplished scam baiting. But I know the extra effort that's sexy and cool and fun is when you can see what they're up to on their computer, which rides a certain kind of gray line. I'll be as polite and politically correct as I can with that.
Yeah, you can't say or show exactly what it is. And I get that, but we all support it. We know that. Like, I don't know what you did. It's probably illegal. Actually, no, it's not. We can't say that. But you did something and we approve of it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious too. Like, I don't know much about Scammer Payback. Is he like? Does he have hacking skills? Is a lot of that? Really?
Yeah. Pierogi, some of his history, he worked at a large vendor, I won't say without his permission, but for EDR, like endpoint detection response. So he is in the community, or at least his upbringing was in that. And I think, look, it's awesome. It's totally natural to now, I can't even say move to a new domain because I feel like it really is a part of cybersecurity and security. But no, he's got the chops without a doubt. So.
Okay. Very cool. So are we going to see more content from you on that this year?
Yes, I hope to. And I've been trying to think about how do I add my flair to it, or can I? Is there a way to? You know how I like to try to showcase and teach how things happen? Like, how to do this SQL injection vulnerability, or how to find this malware, or dissect whatever sample was doing. So could I teach how to do some scam bait stuff? But there's a very, very weird, like walking a tightrope there, because then you're just given the scammers like all the answers, and they know what to do. They know how to protect themselves. They know what's coming. They know the strat.
Which is
and the community is like, don't do that.
Yeah, like this is why like I still know nothing about how it actually works, because they're great. Like Scammer Payback and all these guys who do this keep it close to the vest. Like they don't tell how they do it. And I didn't even know he was like, it just seems like he's doing social engineering. I don't know what else he's doing beyond that. So it's very impressive what they do. And so I personally, I would love to see John Hammond scam bait content. I think it'd be very fun. There's plenty of room in that space to do it. And it's your personality that people watch you for. Like,
thank you. Yeah.
John, yes, you teach things and we get that. But they can learn that stuff from anywhere, from ChatGPT. They watch you for you, and they watch you because you present it in a certain way. So yeah, you would bring your own flair, your own charm to that space. It'd be fun.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, and I'm very flattered. But maybe if I could fall on my sword, I don't know if it's a pivot in the conversation or not, but I feel like, man, I've made a couple boo-boos. I got some people pretty angry at me. Whether it's a YouTube video title that was 2 clickbaits, or I know the ads and I know sponsorship can be, maybe a little bit overbearing sometimes. I feel like I pissed a lot of people off every now and again. Do you get any of those bad hater comments? What? Yeah.
Never.
Immune.
Yeah, my track is completely clean. I don't do anything wrong on YouTube.
You're not in any. Oh yeah. I won't open the can of worms that was a recent news story, I guess.
Yeah. So 2024. God, the numbers are all mixing together now. 2024 was an interesting year for me. I didn't have massive faux pas, but I do have a few, and I would love to talk about yours because that's fun. But like, I did end the year creating a Solana token on the Solana blockchain right after Hawk2 made her coin and did her rug pull. I don't know if you saw that I did that. So I got that video. So here's the story, right? Back when crypto was huge, 2020. Everyone's talking about crypto. I made a lot of content on it. It was great. Everyone was having a good time. And so Bitcoin, hit 100K this year, or 2024. I'm like, oh, crypto's back. I'm going to make another video on how to make a Solana token because it's fun. And also how you make it has changed. So I'm like, refresh of content, cool, very fun. I had my daughters help me make it. They created their own Solana token. It was not to create the next popular meme coin. I wasn't trying to get rich. But dude, people thought I was in there to do a rug pull. They thought I was in there to just build up the crypto bros. I'm like, no. But yeah, I got so much flack for that. That video was my worst performing video of the year. Whereas the last one I made, the exact same content, was one of my better performing videos. So it's like, whoa, what a shift in attitude towards a technology. It's crazy. And I kind of feel like crypto and almost AI are like in that same boat. You have to be very, very careful with how you talk about them because people are getting tired. They feel like it's a shill. And sometimes that content is a shill. You have to be very careful with that. But not many people know this, but that I did create a token during that video. And that token accidentally became a viral meme coin that made some money. But I made a video about that. It'll be posting soon. But just know I didn't rug pull anybody. I didn't sell any. I didn't make any money. But the crypto bros somehow figured it out. So you gotta be careful.
Man, it's like flying around the sun. But I'm understanding because I think at first glance.
That was weird. John just got hacked. Well, hey, welcome to John Hammond's channel. I am in control of this now. I feel like we just did this, and I took control. He must have pressed a button. I'm not sure. How's everyone doing today? I will answer a question that I saw from who asked the question? Oh, it's Nahamsak. Oh, he's back.
I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, this happened last time. Do you remember that?
I do. And it's happened very frequently for every past live stream. I think Restream does not like me or this machine. So I'm sorry if you happen to start
to someone at Restream. I don't know what they're after you.
But I have realized to do some more of the sweet cybercrime tracking, looking for threat actors, or at least trying to maybe even see what they can see. Crypto might be a handy thing to have, if the very least just for tracking those and having some of the cool stories behind it all.
Yeah.
So do I have to make content about using crypto? Well, I absolutely have zero intent on, how it could very well be polarized extremely. People get their pitchforks out for those and AI, just as you mentioned.
Yeah, and I get it, because the crypto bros out there, they have made it a very weird, very, very toxic situation. Personally, I'm very bullish on crypto. I think crypto's cool. I think the technology's really fun, and that's why I geek out. And I think, if Bitcoin becomes the gold standard, that's just neat. I'm not a religious fanatic about crypto, but I think it's very cool. And I hold some crypto. I hold the big coins. I think it's going to take off, but who knows? Do you hold any crypto, John?
No, truth be told, I know nothing about it, which is why I'm like, man, if I were to experiment and tinker and play, I'd like to showcase it in some videos, but I don't. It is a hot stove. I don't know how long I'd want to hold my hand there. So
you have to be very and I think you should do it, but you have to be very careful with how you approach it. I thought I had a nuanced approach. I was wrong. I learned my lesson. Got my don't do that, and I'm not going to do it again. I'm trying. I think I had one more video. Oh yeah. I had another video that I got flack for in 2024. It was my IPv6 video.
Ooh,
where
was the stink with that?
Well, I actually get it with this one. I is a bit clickbaity. I don't normally do that, right? But this one was. I said IPv6. What did I say about it? Oh, it was when that big IPv6 flaw came out.
Oh yeah.
Where if you had a public IPv6 address, no one needed anything. They can just boom infiltrate, right? And so I like, this is a big deal. And I talked about it, and I said IPv6, you should just disable it on your computer or whatever. And I didn't realize like IPv6 has a massive community, or I wouldn't say massive. They have a very excited community, and they're like coming at me going, "Hey Chuck, you're ruining the progress of IPv6. How dare you? You don't even understand it." I'm like, "Oh, I understand it. I just don't." Who needs it? Like, who's using IPv6 on the private network? No one is. I get it's a big part of the public network, right? Because we ran out of IPv4 addresses, but who's running IPv6 locally? Nobody. I don't know anybody. So it's just a silly thing. I don't know. But yeah, I got a bunch of flack for that. It's so silly. But what about you? Did you have any big? You mentioned one faux pas. What was another one you had?
Well, the most recent one, I think the one that most shook me up recently was the very first video of 2025. That was a video showcasing the Godot game engine. And there was some sweet research. Is internet connectivity okay, or am I off dead? Can you hear me all right?
No, you're smooth. Yeah, you're fine. You look good at me.
Okay. I didn't know if you could hear me all right.
No, you sound great.
Thank you. Appreciate it. No, there was a video that I had put out that showcased a write-up in a blog post from Checkpoint Research, where they saw some malware that would use the Godot game engine and some of like the embedded resources or pack files as a vessel for malware, like loading another stage, loading another payload, eventually being the detonator. And I thought it was super cool. I wanted to make a video to showcase it. And the video title originally was Godot Game Engine Makes Malware, because in the video, we use the Godot game engine and I make the game that it makes malicious. So in my mind, that all checked out. But I am absolutely 1,000% understanding that it could very well read as Godot game engine only makes malware, or it is infected and compromised and affecting other folks. So there was a fire hose of comments that the title was clickbait. And I did my darndest. I did my best. I'm so sorry. I beg for forgiveness. I rated a thread of like, look, let me change the title. Let's figure out what is amenable and friendly for you all. What's the most accurate portrayal of this now that we have the video content deliberated? And that got people pretty pissed off too. They said, John, you should freaking know this. Take the accountability and responsibility of getting the right burden. Which I'm going to get raked over the coals just for chatting about it. But eventually we, I think, settled on a title. And then occasionally if some folks came to bat and said like, I don't know what people are peeved about. You apologized. You said you were wrong and you did everything they wanted. So I hope you're good. But it's a bloodbath. If anyone is willing to go look at that video, I would appreciate any of your validation and reassurance. But all that is to say, there's a fun, good story to end that once you're done.
Yeah. So, first of all, I'm sure people know this, but being a content creator is freaking hard. Like, it's an amazing job. It's the best job in the world. But the pressure to get every single stinking thing right when you say it on a video, and the fact that while you're creating the video, while it's being made, that things can change in the background that you're not aware of. Like, there's so many things at play. Like, you look at massive YouTubers like Linus Tech Tips. Even them, with their massive company, with so many employees and so many people looking at things, they miss stuff. So when it's like you and I, like we're probably the only technical person on our team that produces content, it's so easy to like miss stuff or like think, oh, that's going to be a really fun creative title, but not see it from the other 15 angles that people might see it from. It's hard to do. So I would ask, just, for me and John, have a little bit of mercy on us, please. Thanks. Like, I know we do it to ourselves. It's the nature of being so public about what we do. And that's fine. Like, we accept that, but it's hard. Right? I did want to, before we get to anything else, I did want to answer Nahum Sek's question from earlier.
He said, good AMA.
How do you keep going when it's not a passion project or can't make the idea work? And honestly, Ben, I sometimes just don't go with the idea. Like, if the idea sucks, I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing this. Not worth my time anymore. And I push it away. Other times I put it down for a nap and I come back to it next week. Like, there's still a project that's been down under for a nap for a long time. I still have not made my Mr. Beast video. John, you remember this? I went to Mr. Beast shortly after we went to help them with the video. And I filmed so much stuff, so many cameras and so many things. And it was just this amazing adventure. I just got so burnt out at that point. I didn't want to make the content. I wasn't excited about it. Now it's been like 2 years and I still haven't made the content. And I think it would be I think it's gonna be a banger. Like, I publish it, it'll be a 1 of 10, probably. Yep. I don't know. I'm not there. So it's down for a nap. I'll come back to it when I'm really feeling it. And it's okay to do that as a creative, because we're riding waves. Like, we're riding waves of motivation. We're riding waves of like, oh, that's interesting. I got to make content about that. Or I could really tell a story about this. And it so much hinges on our ability to portray that as interesting, to show our own excitement. And it's really hard to fake that. You can tell when people fake it. Like, it's obvious. Like, John, you rarely fake it. I don't know if that you ever fake it. And I can tell you genuinely love the content you make. It's so fun to watch. Even though sometimes when you're hitting record, you may like be going, okay, here we go. But I know you genuinely love the stuff you do. But anyways, that was a long tangent. So what was the other thing you had this year or you said there was something good that happened? Oh, yeah.
So we're way at the therapy session. I'm way into venting. I'm so sorry. At least we are the friends that can do that. But I probably got a little, I don't want to say defensive. I don't want to say passive aggressive, but I'm sure that could be categorized for maybe some of the comments in the original figuring out and solving the problem of the Godot malware video. And I had said, when someone had said, like, after I tried to offer the solution of, hey, let's figure out what title you'd like, one of the barkbacks was, why don't you just not make this clickbait title content ever again? I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm cool with that. You're done. I'm good. Sure. You guys know better than me. Look, we will no longer have a title in any video ever. We'll no longer have a thumbnail. We'll have a poll in the comments and you all can decide. And I was probably just being a jerkwad. I say that in jest. Maybe I was, what's the right word? Petty. That's probably the right word. So the very next video, black thumbnail, no title. It's a Unicode character that has no red display, so it looks like it's invisible. And the video I was very actually happy with, because it was a totally failed demo on a user account control bypass and a privilege escalation vector that got patched. So it was like I spent 30 minutes of content, 2 hours of real raw process to it be an absolute failure and a dud. I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever release this video, but ooh, I could have a little bit of fun and upload that as a blank, empty, titleless
I'm looking at it now. That's so nifty. I love this. I love that. I'm looking at thumbnails that suddenly just blank with no title. It's awesome.
And it's funny because all the comments were like, John, you invented anti-clickbait. I clicked just because I was curious and interested, and it was a mystery box. And I'm like, all right, great. I've won everyone back over. Maybe I hope I'm back in their good graces.
That's amazing. I love that. And, so I rarely will respond and kick back to people that give me flack, but I will respond if I think it's just going to be funny. Like just if I'm going to dog on myself, or if something's really ridiculous, I'll respond to it. But it's fun. And we I think, was it the beginning of this year or just at the tail end of 2024, the big Reddit thread? You want to talk about that? Oh yeah, you're still here.
Sorry. Yeah, I see all the comments of John being a little bit too pixelated, so I don't know if I should bounce or toggle on or off the camera. But
they said you look like Seth Rogen.
I'm a JPEG.
Yeah, which is funny. I watched Pineapple Express last night, and it made me think of you. Yeah,
very flattered. Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to open the can of worms for the Reddit thread, but
let's do that. So I do eventually want to talk about a bit of AI,
and we should do some AMA too. Or anyone in the chat, I know there's a lot of questions, so but we got a lot to do, my friend.
All the A's. I know we've been going too much therapy, I think. So let's talk. Speaking of therapy, let's talk about the Reddit thread. So if you guys didn't see this Reddit thread, don't go see it. Don't give it the time of day. Actually, I don't care. I welcome feedback like this. But I don't know who posted it. They're just like, hey, who else in the cybersecurity realm are grifters? And they specifically called out, I think, me and David Bombal and the first post. And then they're like asking for opinions on who else is grifters, who else is, just a crappy creator. And then there's just a long thread of just all these people coming out of nowhere, dogging literally every creator there is for something. Even the best, most flawless creators in my mind are being dogged on. Like they brought out Daniel Miessler. Like, I love Daniel Miessler. What has he done? They dogged on him for AI stuff. I'm like, yeah, AI is kind of a big deal, dude. Like, it's okay to talk about it. It's so crazy to me. But they mention you too. Like, oh yeah, John Hammond, clickbait, blah, blah, blah. It's like, how do you feel about that, John?
I don't know. Maybe I'll have a lukewarm take. But when I maybe lean a little bit more into my self-defense preservation, I do like to think like, all right, criticism, angry thing that it could very well just end up being mean if we get to that extent. And I think there's a lot of constructive criticism and good feedback that we can learn and grow from, and it's tactical and explicit and has examples and suggestions and solutions. That's good. But when it gets to the sort of just, I don't know, rude thing without any extra actual supportive work with it or material, then I will dislike it. And I'll tend to just say, hey, man, why don't you do it? Why don't you try it? Why don't you make some content? I don't know, if you do this for 15 years, if you crank out 1,500 videos, if you go through the slog of the 2-3 hours that it takes for the raw recording, the 3-4 hours to do for the editing, and then however it might take for the thumbnail, and then preparing the solution to share on socials, actually uploading the thing. It is not something to scoff at that I don't think anyone knows unless they do it themselves. But it's pretty easy for anyone to kind of scoff and roll their shoulders and have that go away. And just say, no, why would I bother? I'm like, you're right. Exactly. You're not going to. So forgive me. I'm getting on my soapbox. I
love the side of you. Go on.
I'm going to get canceled, Chuck. What are we doing here? That's fine. You guys comment, peanut gallery, stay on the sidelines. You stay on the bench, dude. I'll be on the field. I'll get it done. I'll put in the work in myself. So
you're completely right. Their comments, and I read through a bit of it before. I'm like, I don't have time for this because this is not my first time being the star on Reddit and in one little Reddit thread being dogged on. For a time, if you just Googled NetworkChuck, it might still be the case. If you Google my name and you never knew who I was, the first thing that would come up is a Reddit thread dogging on me. So when I went to a new church, and this is my current church now, 5 years ago, and I was a much smaller YouTuber then. And my pastor was like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, you know, I'm a YouTuber." He's like, "Oh, if I search for you, like, what if I?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, you can probably Google me." And then he's like, "Dude, you don't, you got dogged on Reddit." I'm like, "How did you find that? Like, how's that the thing you know about me? Like, just as you
No.
Google."
Yeah.
So like for a long time, like, I'm used to that, and I think as a content creator, if you're here long enough, it's kind of like that Batman thing. If you're what's the saying? People will know in the comments if you either die or live long enough to become the villain or something like that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Kind of like content creation. If you do it long enough, you're gonna get this kind of flack. People don't realize how hard it is to make content, to come back week after week and keep making it, and to offer no constructive criticism, to offer any kind of value to what you're doing, to just go, yeah, they suck, they're just shills, they're all they do is post ads. It's like you don't get it, and then also the clickbait stuff. It's like, okay, John is a hacker. What does John do? He figures out how to hack things. He figures out systems and how to do something with that system. On YouTube, when you post a thumbnail that makes people click on it and a title that makes people click on it, that's hacking, dude. Like he figured out how to hack what he's doing. Like
I
that's
can't do any social engineering. Yeah.
So, it's so dumb. It's like, why do they do that? No, we do it because we hate you. No, we do it because it works. Like, and everybody does. It's not. It's so silly. I don't know. But yeah, we can get in our soapboxes forever on that. But the Reddit thread, that kind of stuff's going to happen again and again and again. But you'll notice the people who have been doing it for a while, they're going to show up every once in a while on those threads, and they'll whatever. Like I'm fine with it now. Like John, I think you've done a great job at staying away from that for a long time. I think because your content is so consistently just wholesome and good for the community. But I think recently people just have started to come after you a bit. So I think you're still new in that realm of like getting hit, and it sucks, doesn't it? And I'm not saying to it, but like, yeah, like you're getting more and more flack, and not because your content has changed. It's just because people. I think the bigger you get, the bigger the lens is on you. That's what it is. 'Cause
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I think there are just two little things that I would sprinkle in, and then I just am watching the clock, and maybe we could get to some more AMA or anything else. But I want to help make sure that like you are cool and comforted and good from the aftermath of that thread, and or us or me or anyone else that was kind of named, because I think it's pretty clear a lot of us that I hope do this and will just say outright, look, I'm not an expert. I'm still learning. I'm doing this. I'm sharing this. I'm putting this content out there to help not only myself learn, but for you to learn. And if you have things that you can teach me, please teach me. Like, I'm totally cool with that. So I hope that is an express approach of like, you've said straight up, Chuck, like, hey, you come from networking before cybersecurity. You're learning a lot of that hacking work. So I think when you're upfront and honest and authentic with that's really what matters. So,
and that is, and so John, you're so right, and I do feel like, so I mean, obviously, I want to ask how you are too, but also it's like people assume that if you have a YouTube channel and you start talking about technical stuff, they assume just by you doing that you're saying you're an expert.
Yeah, and
that's not the case at all. Like if I think about people like Gerald Auger, is that how you say his name? Simply Cyber PhD. That guy probably has said he's an expert in a few things because he has a PhD, and like that, I get that.
Yeah, that qualifies.
Like no one's arguing with that. But like for me, I don't think I know I never said I was an expert in anything, and I've only ever said, hey, I'm trying to learn this. Hey, I just learned this thing. Can I show it to you real quick? And that's kind of my thing. It's like me studying in a room, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I figured it out. And I run into the next room and I tell my buddy this. You're my buddy. Like that video is showing it to my buddy. And that's my whole point in that. And if I have any skill, it's not an expert in hacking, because I'm not that good at hacking. Like as I'm trying to learn it more and more, I'm like, oh, this is not easy. What I'm good at is making videos, and I'm good at teaching, and that's what I'm good. Like that's what I'll always, stake my claim to fame with. And I love teaching things I'm just newly learning. So don't ever mistake me for being an expert. No. And as many times as I can, I will try to bring people on my channel who are really good, like you, John, or like anybody in the realm. I try to bring them on to just add credibility to what I'm saying, because I know I'm not the expert. But anyways, we can talk about this forever. But are you okay with thread, John? Are you good?
Yeah. Actually, it was a little heartwarming. I tried to comment and respond to a couple of the posts just to like let my presence be known and to like acknowledge I'm lurking, and we do read these. We really genuinely do look. And I think it was very sweet. There was, I think, a lot, or maybe even the majority, I don't know, of folks that were just kind of coming up to bat to defend, to support, and say, no, these folks are good. And then a whole nother thread started that was like, hey, who are the awesome people that you guys enjoy watching and love? And that was cool. So I had a personal IRL friend, someone that I know personally, text me, and they said, John, you won the internet. Like, your people are, this is incredible. And that there's an outpouring of support. And like, oh, that is extremely sweet. I thank you.
Good.
So I will say, though, as my last point, I do think maybe a little bit there, not to say maybe a little bit, but I do think, yeah, maybe the content has changed. Maybe what I do bring with the video, I am now more realizing it's not what it used to be, when people tend to say, oh, I like the old John. I miss the old JH videos. I miss the old. I think, and I'm trying to grok this, I'm trying to understand it, because they say this, I'm like, what do you make? What do you like? What do you miss? Because in my mind, I don't see a difference. But I think it is just talking to the audience and being present with them to talk to you, to talk to them like they're a person. Because I think a lot of recent videos have been the like, let me crank something out. I've got to get this out the door. And it's a demo. It's a little show and tell. It's a party trick. But when I do that thing, like the song and dance, it's that pretty packaged up bundle and box of a video. But from what I remember, maybe a lot more of the older days were the like, hey guys, what's up? Thanks so much for stopping by the video. Great to see you here, part of the channel. What have you been doing? What's like, maybe the live streams, maybe the communication, maybe the just interaction did fade away. And I hope I can get back to that. I don't know. I don't know.
So I've had the same things too. Over time, people like, I miss the old NetworkChuck. I miss NetworkChuck when he talked about networking. And I'm like, I get that.
Yeah.
But also, this is your channel. This is you. You are going to change. Like, you're not the same as you were back then. So why would you be the same now as you make videos? So you're going to follow what your interests follow. You're going to change your style. And I agree with you. Like, you should go back and try the old style, sprinkle it in, see how you feel as you're making it. Because you got to be authentically you. Like that's what I love about a few creators I'm watching now. Because YouTube is constantly changing, but I think we're kind of making a resurgence back to the you and YouTube, and that's what makes YouTube different. It's always from an individual's perspective, making content like this. It's messy, sometimes it's raw, sometimes it's very polished, but it's just going to be authentically you. So yeah, no, dude, ignore these guys. Like, the people are saying I miss the old John Hammond. What is like 3 people saying that? Like, the rest of the people that are watching don't care. Most people don't even there to enjoy the content. I'm not a commenter. Like, I'm normally not. It takes a lot for me to comment. So
Same.
most people just like, I love John. That's it. And they don't care. They're going to watch whatever you do. They're going to watch as you change and grow. It's fine. So yeah, shut up. Ignore them.
Well, hey, right back at you. I guess we're all in this thing. It's a lot of fun. It's a labor of love, but labor takes a little bit more emphasis every now and again.
Yeah. So should we do a few AMAs?
Yeah, if that's all right with you. I'm grateful for the voice in the back of my head. We do have cool production and moderators that are helping out, filter and queuing up some questions. I don't know if you can see any in Restream in the back end, but if there are any that you are interested in that we could chat about.
Let's see if I find anything interesting. Yeah, guys, if you're hearing us ask this right now, now's the time. We probably missed a bunch, and you have no idea how hard it is to go back through comments and try to find good questions while you're talking. It's really hard.
Now we'll have the floodgates open as more questions pour in.
Right. But I see Tyler Ramsby in the chat. Always good to see him.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. And Dakota, the bearded IT dad. So many great people that came by. Thank you all.
Yes. Yeah, this is probably the hardest part of doing a live stream, is finding good content or good comments. Oh, bearded IT dad said, "Are you guys going to DEF CON this year?" I imagine you are, John, of course. I think they have like a special booth just for you, right?
No special booth. But yes, absolutely. Again, it's like a life unlock, like an achievement that you just have to go every single year after the first time you've gone. So I'm doing this forever now. I'll always be at DEF CON each year.
So I know this is one of those things where I made a goal last year and I didn't do it.
I remember
on this. I had a live stream just like this. I'm like, I'm going to DEF CON. I did not go to DEF CON, but this year I'm going to DEF CON. And I'm also going to Cisco Live this year.
Nice.
So and
excellent.
Yeah. I'm going to go to as many conferences as I can that my wife will allow me to go to. Actually, I did see a chat from Mad Hat. I love Mad Hat. I just commented on his a few days ago. He said, how do you guys stay healthy with being so busy? I can go first. I don't. No, but I think I do maintain a pretty healthy lifestyle. One thing I'll do, and it's small little habits. I do intermittent fasting. So most like right now, I did eat today. Most days I don't eat all day. I only eat one meal, and that's a dinner. That's hard to do initially, but once you get in the habit of it, you find that you're more clear-headed, you have more time. It's over. Intermittent fasting is very healthy if you have the right body type. Another thing I do is I try to work out first thing in the morning, because if I don't do that, I will not do it ever. I'll forget. I'll get busy. Life will get in the way. And then when I'm doing like deep focused work, and I have my Pomodoro timer going, I'm like doing 30 minutes on, and I'll take a break. I'll do like 30 to 40 push-ups in between each Pomodoro session. So it's just about small little things here and there to keep myself just sane and healthy. And then I try to eat well. Like I don't eat fast food. We make all our meals at home. We do this thing called Green Chef. It's like the healthy version of Home Chef.
Nice.
I enjoy. So yeah, we do that. But yeah, that's how we live healthily. John, would you consider yourself a healthy person?
No. No, I have a whole lot of energy drinks to kind of keep cruising. I'm kind of with you in that I don't particularly eat a lot until dinner time. And I stay up ungodly late and don't get as much sleep as I should. So it's all bad. I'll be straight up. I guess there's no secret, no hiding from that. So
you're a younger guy. You're a younger guy. Like I really can't afford to do that anymore. I used to energy drink, staying up late. Now when I do that, I get this hangover, and it's not from drinking. It's just from living bad, and it hurts. As you get older, it becomes more and more severe. So I mean, coffee is my thing, but I can't. Again, I have decaf in my cup. But coffee is what I like. I have to have my coffee in the morning, and then afternoon, usually around exactly noon, I'll brew some decaf to get me going through the rest of the day. But normally, like I used to be able to go all day. Like my wife would have to pull me away from work. Now it's getting close to 6 p.m. and I'm like, okay, I can't anymore. I'm done. I gotta go home.
I got a Whoop, the like armband. Some folks might have noticed I now have 2 Power Ranger sonic rings on my arms. But
Power Ranger. Yeah.
The Whoop is the cool little fitness tracking device to see how you're doing on your health. And I did it kind of just for the meme to see what number, how can we quantify how little sleep I get or how quickly I'm killing myself. But look, I let me say, I do not like it. It's not something I'm proud of. I'm not happy with it. I do want to improve getting better sleep, getting a little bit more extra exercise. However, a lot of that is just time management, because whenever I try to be a normal, healthy person, I'm like, I can't get it done. It's not going to happen. There's no way. There's not enough time.
It's because you don't have a system, John.
That's exactly right. We don't have a system. So that's been a goal for 2025, and hopefully I can crack that code.
Are we doing a fitness challenge for DEF CON? Is that what we're doing?
What would we do?
I don't know. Maybe the comments could tell us, but we could have something, right? Yeah. We meet up and see who looks the coolest. I mean, I don't know whose shirt fits the best. I don't know how you judge that, but that'd be fun, I think. But we'll see. That would be fun. Because I'm not in perfect shape. I've got a belly. I can get rid of that. Anyways, moving on to
no, I'm right there with you though. I think, and I say, as I don't like it, I don't know if I could keep up that pace. I will probably not. Maybe throw in the towel when it comes to be a year or 2 or however much longer now until I get those other responsibilities. Girlfriend and I get married or the kids come down. like whatever will be the turning points, and maybe we'll have to change things up, adjust the system. So,
hey, get the system down now. It does not change when you'll you'll be. I got so fat when my wife when she got first pregnant.
Really?
Like she was eating a lot, and I'm like, well, we're hanging out together. I'm gonna eat a lot too.
For sure.
What's it called? Sympathy weight gain. Like, it happens, and kids don't make the systems easier. Lock it down now before you do that. It'll motivate you. You won't do it. Tyler Ramsby said we should have an influencer boxing match. No.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, maybe. Hey, thank you all so much for the extra support, super chats and donations and all. Very, very grateful for the support. Thank you. Love you all.
Yeah, do we have any super chats to answer? I know it's kind of hard to find those sometimes.
Yeah, Restream, and there's no secret, we are big fans of multi-streaming just to amplify the airwaves. A lot of folks are asking what conferences we'll be at. You said Cisco Live and DEF CON.
And I'm going to try and do the whole DEF CON Black Hat combo, just because I know you do that same too, right?
Yes.
Or do you own DEF CON?
We really embrace Hacker Summer Camp. So we'll definitely do Black Hat just before DEF CON. May or may not squeeze in B-Sides Las Vegas around that time. We were there last year. And then the Diana Initiative or any of the other sweet events that will be happening there on the Strip. But I love it. That's the family reunion time of year.
Okay, that'll be fun. Honestly, I know I mentioned it last year. I'm terrified to go to DEF CON because that's totally out of my element. So I'm gonna have to find you and then just go, hey, introduce me to your family, because I don't know anybody. I mean, I know a few people there, but it's a strange place.
No, hey, I would love to help. Not to say take you under a wing, but would love to be there, catch up, and we can stroll around together, whatever we're up for. So.
That'd be very, very fun. I'm stinking going. Okay, I know but this time I mean it. Okay. Anyways, let's see if we have any more chats, and then we can get into talking about AI, because I really do want to talk about AI.
Sweet. I know we are at the top of the hour. Do you have to run or anything, or?
I've got a bit of time. What are you looking for?
Let me double check. I thought I had something and I was worried about it. Nope, that's tomorrow. We're good.
I can probably go for about 30 more minutes.
Excellent. Sweet. Thanks. If anyone's willing to hang out, let's keep cruising.
Bearded IT Dad got on the super chat bandwagon, and I'm only saying that because I can see his super chat come in right now before it disappears.
Thank you, Dakota.
Oh no, someone said DEF CON is canceled this year. Isn't that the running joke there is?
Oh yeah.
See, I'm in the in crowd. I know what's going on.
You are. You'll learn all about the badge drama. You'll get the history of people that are allowed there and no longer allowed there. There's so much lore for DEF CON.
Goodness, I'm excited. Tyler Ramsby gave 1337.
Oh, you all the best. Thank you. I can't say it enough.
All right, cool. Let's get into AI then.
Let's do it,
John. Yeah. AI. It's like when I remember when ChatGPT first came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, because it was the first of its kind, and it keeps getting crazier. And now we're at a point where even you see all the top CEOs like Zuckerberg and the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, saying that they're going to replace their programmers, or maybe not replace, but not hire anymore. They're going to have agents or just really advanced AI take place of mid-level engineers. So what's your outlook on AI for the future, for IT, for hackers? Have you had time to delve into that?
Yes and no. I don't think I'm as sharp on it as I want to be. I've been playing and poking with a couple different models, just Claude, Sonnet, and ChatGPT, but I haven't gotten into any of the newfangled stuff, and I haven't even been able to get something running locally yet. I'm still just kind of mooching off whatever ChatGPT gives me out on the internet. So I don't know anywhere near as much as I'd like to, even just for my own learning. But
it's addictive, dude. It's a whole world. And if you let yourself, you'll get totally absorbed into it. So I admire you for staying out of it. That's impressive. It's I'm sure you've heard about the Stargate announcement, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's a massive thing. And the DeepSeek R1 rivaling ChatGPT 01.
That's the one, DeepSeek. Yeah. I see everyone chatting about it.
a local model that can kill the best model online available. Like that's insane. Um, but yeah, you're hearing a bunch of headlines that AI is going to change the workforce, and it definitely is going to change. Like change is going to happen, but what type of change? What's the extent of the change? Are you like this will happen to me? I don't know if anyone else in the chat is like this. I'll read a bunch of like news updates from AI, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's here, it's happening, and I'll be laying in bed just kind of thinking, what's the future going to be like? I don't like the future. Like I don't know what it's going to happen.
I don't like
Do
the
you have
future.
these moments? Do you have these moments, or are you still, for lack of a better term, no, I don't want to. You're not head in the sand. You're just busy. You're not looking at that because you're so busy hacking. But have you had time to kind of reach those moments?
I am not too busy hacking by any means. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off for everything else. But I don't know if the future is whatever, like, oh, wild, maybe fiction, apocalyptic Terminator scenario with, established, strong AI where they're totally sentient on their own. I have no idea. That's wild. That scares the crap out of me without a doubt. Then we just entered whatever. But if it's still systems and automations and tech, and at its core, like, technology and computers as we've known them, they will make us better and stronger and faster and smoother and can mass create and produce and do much more things. Like ChatGPT, any of the other models, whatever, can crap out code. Maybe you're using Cursor, maybe you're using whatever, Devin, I don't know. And for better or for worse, whether it's good code or it's bad code, that on its own is attractive to many people, enough to the point that it will permeate through the world, right? So I think for software development, good, bad, or ugly, it's going to be pretty hardcore embedded in the loop, like in the life cycle. It's going to crap out code. I think it might be human reviewed, maybe, but probably that will be tedious and slow, or at least hard to streamline as we're figuring that out. For security, when you talk about, a security operations center, do you need real human analysts to review alerts and triage and context? I'm of the opinion, of the belief, and always have been, like, yes, 1,000% absolutely. But there are folks that do want to have a truly automated and AI SOC, or security operations center. You can take it for what you will. Like, your mileage may vary. You have a grain of salt and context there, but I think it boils down to trust. And like, if you think of yourself in like, I don't know, even a business perspective, whether you bring someone onto your team to do a job, will you pay for a person and provide for them? Do you trust them to get the work done? Maybe they're 1,000%, like 1,000x engineer, like this AI that can crap out code lightning fast. So that's attractive. You want them, but can you trust the work that they build, or would you fire them because they introduced a security vulnerability and broke down, destroyed, completely ruined your infrastructure and product? I'm on a tangent. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but that is the thing in my mind of like, I don't know we could get along with it without human review, humans in the equation some way, somehow.
Yeah, I agree with you for now. Because I agree. Like right now, AI is not trusted yet. But like anything, you put it into place, you play around with it, you give it a few tasks. Like, it's kind of how you build trust with people. Like, you don't build trust all at one go.
Right.
Over time, they do this, they do that. You're like, hey, you did that pretty well. Oh my gosh, you actually solved that problem. Let's give you some more stuff. Before long, you're giving them so much stuff. You're like, you know what? I think I actually trust you. I think that will eventually happen. My belief overall with AI is I'm very human forward, very human first. I agree with you. AI will make us better, faster. We can do more and more things. But for a lot of people, AI is going to make you stupid. Like, you're going to be dumb because you're going to be so dependent on AI. Yeah. It's like if you don't use a muscle, it just becomes this degraded thing that is just like doesn't even work. Try not using your right arm. Like, it's just going to die. You'll have nothing. AI is going to rob your ability to think and reason if you don't exercise those by yourself. I just saw an article from Daniel Miessler.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you saw that, about when to use AI and when to not use AI. And it was a quote that I've heard him say before, like, you can't take the weights out of the gym. You can't, you have to do the hard work for many, many things. You have to learn things slowly for many, as a human. You have to read that book. Don't let AI summarize everything for you. You might have to watch that video on 1.0 speed because some things take time to think and ponder and what makes you human. So I think for many people, AI is going to screw their lives up. I feel so bad for the kids in school right now who have access to AI and they're using it for everything. And I feel bad for the teachers because there's really no way to avoid it.
Yeah, you can't combat that.
Yeah, you can block ChatGPT and Claude and whatever on the firewalls, but you can run stuff local with a Mac, any later model MacBook. You can run the best models. It's so dumb. I mean, and by dumb I mean amazing. But these kids, oh my gosh, they're not getting a chance to think. So I think for us, if we're going to learn and grow with AI, you have to make sure you're thinking on your own. And I don't know if you do this, but I find myself sometimes when I write a tweet, initially, like when AI first was like really getting traction, I'm like, oh, cool, I can never make a writing mistake again. I'll write what I think, give it to AI, it'll polish it up, add a little flair here and there. I'm like, make it more NetworkChuck. Oh, it did it. Cool, post. Now I'm like, no, I'm just going to write this and I'm just going to click post. Forget AI. I want it to be me. I want it to be very natural. And I don't want to lose that ability, the ability to write and think. But I think many people will. So I think for a human, and I'm going to feel free to stop me anytime.
No, please.
But I feel like AI is going to make you better as long as you don't rely on it too much. And I think going forward in the future, I know many people are probably like, man, what? I'm getting my degree in cybersecurity right now, or I'm getting my degree in computer science. Do I keep going? Like, is it because AI is getting like every year it's like boom, and colleges can't keep up. They don't know what they're doing. What do you do? I think you just keep learning. Like, you learn the foundations, you learn everything you can. Whatever AI is going to do it's going to do. You can't predict the future. We may all not be working in 5 years, and who knows what this post-apocalyptic future is going to look like. We don't know. But the human optimist in me tells me that humans will always be put first, and you just need to learn the skills you can. Go deep into the foundations. Let AI help you learn those things, but never use AI in replacement of learning those things. Soapbox done. That's where I'm at. But I also love AI. It's so fun. I mean, I play with AI every day. Just before this call, I was doing a video on AI clusters, which is very fun. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It was very frustrating, but very rewarding. Yeah, it's coming out soon.
Cool. I'm jealous that you have a whole lot of stuff prepped and ready and recorded ahead of time. I know you said you're like 6 in advance now, but
this is very rare for me. And that's also a goal for the year, is to be 2 weeks ahead of my schedule, which is been a pipe dream for a long time. Which as a YouTuber, that's so hard to do, especially with a team, because when it's just you can control a lot of what's going on because it's just you. When it's a team, you got people calling in sick, you got people who just a variety of issues, but it's a thing. But yeah, 6 videos ahead right now, and I hope that continues. But it just depends. Normally, I'm the bottleneck. I don't know if that's true for you, but I'm the bottleneck. I don't record fast enough, or I will, 3 videos will go by and like that was super quick. But then the 4th video, I spend 2 weeks researching and trying to figure out this freaking problem I can't figure out. And then I film the video and I'm like, I don't care about this anymore. So it's like, it's so hard to do. But anyways, that was AI, I guess. What do you tell people? Because I'm sure you get the question when they ask you, what's the future for people who are going to jump into cybersecurity or whatever? Are you very optimistic about it? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot that you said. I think just about all of it. I'm glad to see the sentiment in the comments and in chat. I think a lot of folks are mentioning, look, AI is a tool, so you can use it. It's practical application when it's the right tool for the job. And I love hanging out with Daniel Miesler. We're buds. We got together for New Year's, then we got together again. I went to his house. He tried to show me some of his setup. He finally got me to open up my MacBook, and we got Raycast and all these cool AI tools because he wrote Fabric and he loves it. Yeah.
Oh, I love Raycast. You guys live local to each other?
Yes. Yeah. Him and I are close, about a half hour away, but a lot of fun.
Oh man. Yeah.
So I would all just echo, It is a tool. And for the college individual or the student or someone in school saying like, hey, do I keep learning? I think without a doubt, the most practical thing is like you bet on yourself, because if you're betting on AI, you don't know, you can't control whether it will be that silver bullet savior, completely change the world, do everything for us. But if you bet on yourself, like, you can control how much you are going to be capable of. So yeah, keep learning without a doubt. Don't try to give yourself that crutch, but use it as a tool when it's the right tool for the job.
Yeah, like when you're struggling to understand a concept, yeah, let it explain it to you, and like ask it to break it down, and like have a conversation with a super intelligent being to help you understand it. Like that's
I do love using it for that. Yeah, to like Google through Chat GPT to a certain extent, learn something new, and just tell me the pointed answer to what I need. So,
or just like I'll often use it to like help me see things that I don't see. So like here's what I'm thinking. Here's the things I've seen. What am I missing? And I love doing that because that'll just open up new neural pathways for you to see things differently going forward. But yeah, just use it to augment you, not replace you in any way. I was gonna say one more thing about that. Oh, I also would say this: learn AI, like learn how to use it well. That's one thing I always tell myself and other people. Like, learn all the ins and outs. Like, learn what makes it tick. You don't have to become a data scientist, but like play with local models. Agents are a new thing I'm trying to dive into. AI agents. That's a whole world, and I've been scared to jump into it, but I'm going to try it now. But it's just learn it. Become familiar with it. We know all these like cybersecurity tools and everything are starting to implement AI. You need to know what's going on. You got to be familiar with it. But anyways, we could talk about AI forever. Oh goodness.
When are we getting together next, man? Something's that we're scheming up. I don't know if there was a cool video project we can collab on. Maybe there were some things in the cooker.
There is something in the cooker that we can't really talk about yet because it's still very, very unformed. But yeah, we have some stuff coming up. And then, of course, we should do something for DEF CON. Like, we should collab on some videos, have some ideas there. A content creator question from somebody. It says, do you edit your own videos? Do you do thumbnails, or do you farm those out? So for me, I haven't edited a video in a while. So I've got editors for that. For thumbnail, I stopped doing that for a while too. So it took me a while to get to the point where I gave that away, because I thought, as most creators do, like, oh, I'm the best editor. My edits are the best. No one can edit my content the way I edit that content. No, they can. Editors are really good at what they do. So once you find someone good, give it to them. John, I know you have an editor and a thumbnail guy now too, right?
I do have an editor, and I'm very, very grateful for all of his support. I really can't do it without them. I know, and I'm cognizant though, that because we move pretty quick, like I do want to be putting the pedal to the metal. I don't want to like burn them out. And I will take the edit for like, hey, I need this video to go out tomorrow. I know I finished recording it today, but it's got to get done. So I will like carry the burden. Can I cruise through the edit and just chop up the sections and cut out dead air? I try to do that, and that's here and there. Sometimes frequent, sometimes not, just for making sure the machine is moving. For thumbnails, though, I have not yet given up the creative control for that. If just because I feel like, oh, I want it to look like how I think, and I know I could do it. So I do the thumbnail, which really hurts. Not going to lie. I would love maybe somehow we get to the point of, John, you just sit in front of the camera and you film, and that's all you need to do.
Thumbnails were the first thing I gave up. Not because I used to love creating them. Like, that was actually one of my favorite parts.
It is fun.
I would finish, and I would just crank some Post Malone. That's what I used to do. Crank Post Malone and just sit there and work on the thumbnail. So fun. But what I do now, this is my process. I will get out like a little tablet, a drawing tablet, and I will mock up like 5 or 6 thumbnail ideas for like what I think it should look like. And so like my thumbnail artists, they're not like just going, hey, what do I do? And I just give them a video so they figure it out. No, like I meticulously tell them, this is what I want it to look like. Have me pointing at a plane, holding a hot dog. Like, it's kind of like telling AI to make something. Like, I'm telling my thumbnail artist to do this, and they just make it happen. So like that's where, and they can do it better than me. So that's where it's pretty cool. So I still have my ideation as part of it, but they do the magic. They do the heavy lifting.
That is
So
excellent.
find yourself someone like that. It'll help out a lot.
Yeah, I've tried, and I hope to keep trying. But that would be another a little optimization when I'm still trying to think on, hey, how do we make this better? How do we keep doing what we're doing? How do we amplify for 2025? So,
And that being said, like back in the day when it was just me doing everything, that was very fun. And sometimes I look back on those days very fondly. Like it's easier when it's just you. You do less. And it can be stressful, but it's so much easier because it's just you got to manage. When you're working with other people, it's just a whole other thing. And while it doesn't require your time, it does take up headspace, that mental space to like manage them or think about them. And it's hard. It's harder, but definitely worth it. If you're looking to get bigger, which John, I think you're in a trajectory to get crazy, right? Like 2025, you're going to be like what, 4 million, 5 million subscribers?
no, I
Right?
don't know. I feel like I'm my mind. I'm okay with the milestones or goals of YouTube metrics. The subscriber count is where I'm happy with it. I don't think I need to be chasing. Oh, I gotta crush the 2 million goal, or can I hit 3 million? Blah blah blah. I don't know. I know that doesn't exactly translate to views. Like compared to the number of subscribers, I have low views. I try to tell myself and justify that's because it's a demo. That's because it's like showcasing little sweet party tricks on the keyboard and we do something. The people don't usually or as easily binge watch. Like that's not an entertainment video. That's not something you can just put on in the background. It's something that I hope you experiment, play along with, and learn from. But it's not something you could just consume one after the other, I think. And that's how I try to defend myself and justify. But
when I look at your content, like, sorry to interrupt, but when I look at your content, you're right. Like you go way deeper in the tech than I ever will. And that, while it is amazing and so valuable, has a smaller audience. Less people do care about that. And that makes sense. So every time someone does enjoy that, they hit subscribe. So like that's my metric. Like I'm not chasing subscriptions, but the fact that you do have a large subscriber base means that enough people watched at least one piece of your content and went, dude, I love this guy. Subscribe. And it's a good indicator of how loved you are. It doesn't mean it doesn't always translate to views, but you do have a core amount of people who value what you do so much. It's such a deep dive into hacking that, again, not many people will do. And so you do your thing, dude. Like I wouldn't chase the views at all or the subscriptions.
Yeah, thank you. I that's where I'm at. I don't know if it's me putting up armor or anything, but I think I really am proud of the work of just putting the foundation and the building blocks in place to build out this library and catalog of like cybersecurity education. And again, if it's good, if it's bad, if it's ugly, I want to be forthright in saying I'm not an expert. I don't know all the things. There are no experts out there, but I'm having fun. And it's really sweet to be able to share that in different videos that people would like to learn from, take a look at. So I just I'm proud of myself and I'm proud of that content. And that's kind of the milestone and mark for me is like, I'm happy with doing it because I think it's a good mission.
And that's all that matters. That is, and that's really all. And that does translate to the channel and through the video. And that authenticity is easy to spot when it's not there on YouTube. So easy. So yeah, keep doing your thing, dude. I love it.
Well, right back at you, my friend. We're doing really cool, fun stuff, and we'll keep on doing it. Any other questions? Any lasting stuff, or should we start to spin this down?
Yeah, let's see if we have anything of note that people have commented in.
The last couple, yeah.
I know I can feel myself. My old man energy is starting to die out. So
no, I have the Zoom fatigue, all that. Do you just get tired after recording or being on camera? When do you just like totally crash out?
Yeah, so like yesterday, I think I recorded, oh my gosh, like 3 videos and 3 shorts. And that was like a day after a good night of sleep, and I felt good. But yeah, I was toast. I go home and I'm a zombie. And then I got, just like before I walk in the door, just like, come on, be a dad, walk in, but it's recording takes so much because it's like having a conversation. Yeah. It's like having a conversation with someone, but you carry it. because no one's talking back. It's like you're carrying it for both of you. It's so exhausting.
That's a good way to put it.
Because like, you know, when you talk to people who just don't talk, it's like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, talker, huh? I guess I'm the one going to be talking for a while.
Yeah. They send a one-word text message back. Nice.
Someone said I'm slowly creating a meme of NetworkChuck pointing at a hot airplane while holding a hot dog. That's funny. I appreciate that. What I said was to the heart. Oh, man.
Well, goodness. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and just letting us hang out, letting us be casual, letting us be candid and chat and have our creator therapy or just friends getting back together again. If you wouldn't mind, as we were discussing how we've got to keep the machine moving, and that's what it is. Look, Chuck, is there anything you kind of want to, send people off to? Anything you'd like to promote to keep that machine moving in spirits and style? How else can folks do what you're doing or learn a little bit more?
Yes, 100%. I've got plenty of machines I want to keep running. So I have no shame about shilling. I'll shill my own stuff. Hey, according to the Reddit poll, I'm really good at it. So I'll talk about it. Actually, someone did comment saying, at NetworkChuck, didn't you plan to launch your own education platform at one point? Yeah, I've been trying to launch one for a long time. That's a whole history.
We were scheming about it years ago, and it's like, man, this is tough.
Yeah, it's not easy. But I will say, it's because content creators, and John, I'm going to throw you under the bus because I think you're okay with it.
Yeah.
We are not good at making stuff like that. We are not we're good at making videos. That does not translate into building a company that produces educational videos. It's not. So for me, I found a team that could help me do this. I can't do it alone. So I partnered with some people that we're building an academy right now. I will say it's still very, very much in the building phase. You can check it out. You won't see anything amazing just yet, but it's at academy.networkchuck.com. It is $12 a month. That won't be the price forever. And that's just a kind of a Kickstarter thing. Come and be part of what we're building, help support what we're building. That's where we're ending it. But I am making some content. I got a partner making some content. Nothing that's competing with John. Don't worry. We're all about the beginner level IT stuff, nothing hacking wise. But it's something I wish was there when I first started. And I'm pouring my blood, sweat, and coffee into this. So I would love for you guys to come look at it. But that's my only shill. If you want some coffee, I do sell coffee. It's not a crazy big business for me, but I drink it all the time because this is the reason I have a coffee company. I want a good coffee. That's the only reason I buy coffee. I have a roaster that is very close to my office. I partnered with, and we do a collaboration. So you can go check out networkchuck.coffee. And that's the end of my shilling. That's all. I'm done. What about you, John? Where can people find you, buddy? Because I know you're doing something pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you. No, there's a lot spinning up. We've got a newsletter in the works. We've got Just Hacking training. We're hosting some Capture the Flag events coming with Sneak in February. But Just Hacking training is the one I think that especially deserves some love. It's very similar in that style of, hey, courseware and training and academy-like structure with other incredible people that can share, shine, flex their muscles, and showcase really cool things to learn about in security. So we've got API hacking. We've got now quantum computing. We got a little bit of dark web. We've got Active Directory. It's really cool to get such a broad, wide range of material. But I would love if folks were interested in that. And just as you mentioned, Chuck, as we get together, it's not a competition. We're not competitors. Maybe it's easy to say that in one light, but all my competitors are my friends. We run ads on the channel for other training companies. I still play any other war game sites, but they're my buds. I like it. We're friends. It's all that we do.
Yeah, exactly right. If you're doing something really cool and you're a genuine person and your content's amazing, we're going to be friends. And while we do, in a sense, compete, dude, I'm so happy to see you win. And I know it's the same way, the other way around. We all win when one of us wins. That's just the way I see it. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to what your academy does. We're not calling it academy though, right? What's the official name for what you do? It's called Just Hacking.
Yeah, Just Hacking Training. JHT is kind of the little nickname.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I was surprised you put quantum stuff on there. I mean, I haven't seen it training for any of that anywhere, so that's impressive.
Well, we
What's some
have
of that?
some really smart folks. I'm not going to lie. I love and I'm so grateful for that crew. It is a team, and that's the biggest thing in my mind is that it's not just me anymore. It's a team. But you and I,
Mhm.
we discussed that all already.
Yeah, yeah. Getting good people to work with, that's the secret sauce. Like that's the secret weapon. Because doing stuff on your own, you can only go so far. And I think that's where a lot of YouTubers kind of just fail, as they realize they try to do everything, but they're just one person. You have to scale. But anyways, we could again talk about that for a long time. But this has been really fun, John. Thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, thank you so much, Chuck, for getting together. I'm looking forward to great DEF CON. Hopefully you do make it this year. I'm looking forward to more that we can do, any other opportunity to collaborate, other videos. But again, always just grateful for your friendship, and I'm glad that we can chat and have that creator therapy. And yeah, even your willingness, just let's get it out there. Let's share it. Let's share it with the world and make that a live stream.
Yeah, and I love the aspect of being able to build in public. So I would love if people want to see more of this, comment below or chat right now. Like I know this is going to be recorded and posted later, so let us know if you want to see us do this more, or maybe you want us to be more structured and talk about something. We can do that, right? We got some kind of talking point. So if you want to see us do more of this, I know I'm kind of running John's channel right now for him, but if you want to see us do more of this, let us know.
All right. I think I will hit the end stream button and we'll be done. But thank you all so much. We can wave us out. We can say goodbye. But until next time, great hanging out with you, Chuck.
Yeah. See you, John. See you, everyone. Bye.
Oh, you have to click.